In this video, I will talk about level of measurement in statistics. So we have four types of data: nominal data, ordinal data, interval data, and ratio data. Okay, so what is nominal data? Nominal data doesn't have order. It doesn't have an equal interval, and it doesn't have a true zero. So what does that mean? Okay, so nominal data, for example, is like nominal data, some kind of like categorical data. For example, you have the color. So you have the color blue, red, and green, some kind like that. And then you label this data. So for example, you label 1 for the color blue, 2 for red, right? 3 for green. Okay, so this is categorical data, and so it doesn't have order, right? Because you cannot compare blue, red, and green. Like it blue is 1 doesn't mean blue has a high ranking than red, right? Red is 2 doesn't mean red is higher than green. Okay, so it doesn't have order. Okay, it doesn't have equal interval because 2 minus 1, right? Like 2 minus 1 is 1, right? But you cannot take subtraction of red and blue. You cannot take red minus blue because it's not legit. So it doesn't have equal interval, okay? It doesn't have true zero because this is label. This is label. You label it, so it doesn't have true zero, right? Ordinal data. Ordinal data has order, doesn't have equal interval, and doesn't have a true zero. So what is ordinal data? For example, in a competition, the first rank is James, okay, and the second rank is Emma, and the third rank is, for example, Tom. Okay, so this also categorical data. So ordinal data has order because James is first ranking, so James has a higher ranking than Emma, okay, and Emma have a higher ranking than Tom, okay. Tom had a lower ranking than Emma, so ordinal data has order, okay. Doesn't have equal interval because you cannot compare Emma and James. Like you cannot compare how far James and Emma. You cannot measure the gap between Emma and James. Cannot measure the gap between Tom and Emma. So it doesn't have equal interval. Okay. It doesn't have a true zero because you cannot find a subtraction, you cannot division, you cannot multiply, or like something like that. You cannot measure that. It's just a label, so it doesn't have a true zero. Okay. Interval data. Interval data has order. Why? For example, calendar. Calendar is interval data. For example, 2020, right? 2021, 2022, 2023. Okay, it's interval data because it has order. Okay, it's like 2023 is higher 2022, right? Of course, 2022 is higher than 2021, right? The calendar, the year has equal interval because between this year and this year is 1 year, right? Between this year and this year is 1 year. Like, yeah, between this year and this year is 1 year, right? So it has equal interval, okay? And then it doesn't have a true zero. So, for example, temperature, okay? So 0 degree, 0 Celsius. 0 Celsius is data, but it doesn't mean that we don't have temperature. 0 Celsius is temperature. It doesn't mean we don't have temperature. See? So this doesn't have a true zero. Okay. Next one, we're going to go to ratio data. Ratio data has order. For example, weight of a human. Okay, so it has order because, for example, 170 pounds, right, rather than 169 pounds, right? It has order. You can compare the value of it. You can compare the data together. So set order. Okay. The ratio data has equal interval because between this because 170, 169, 168, right? The gap between them is 1 pound. Okay. So it has equal interval. It has a true zero because 0 pound means it doesn't have like they doesn't weight, right? Okay, so this is the summary table for you guys. So nominal data doesn't have order, okay? Doesn't have equal interval, doesn't have true zero, right? So it's like categorical data, like blue, red, green, like color, like the color of your eyes, something like that. So it's nominal data, okay? Ordinal data, it has order. It doesn't have equal interval. It doesn't have true zero. For example, ranking of the competition, right? Interval data has order, okay? It has equal interval and it doesn't have true zero. So it's like years, it's like days, it's like months, it's like temperature. It doesn't have true zero because 0 Celsius doesn't mean it doesn't have temperature. 0 Celsius is a temperature. And the next one is the ratio data. The ratio has order, it has equal interval, and it has true zero. The ratio data has true zero that allow you to compare data together by taking the ratio of it or by find the difference between it. If this video is helpful, don't forget to give me a like, subscribe. Thank you so much.